We are doing this every Monday right here on San Diego Living, checking in with our friends at the Home Pro Show. You hear them on the radio every Monday, though. You'll see them in person right here on San Diego Living. You know, I don't know if you've had a chance to do any home improvements in time for spring. We talk about spring cleaning. What are some of the basic items that a homeowner should need in order to do some spring cleaning? Like, what kinds of things do you need to stock up on and make sure that you have in the garage or the backyard shed? Hey, let's get right over to Clint August from the Home Pro Show and find out. Good morning, Clint.
Morning. How are you, Heather?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Doing very well. You know, I'm here with Greg Cantor from Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel, also Harry, and we have Bruce from 2 different locations of the 11 Ace Hardware locations. And it's springtime, so we've got a lot to talk about with your garden and your home. I have a question for you. Do you get your gloves dirty in the garden, Heather?
Okay, so yes, and but I do think I need some help because I'm not so good at gardening. Now, when it comes to home improvement projects, I've done a few before, but gardening, I leave that up to my husband.
You know what? My wife leaves it up to herself because I won't do it. But you know what? Ace is here to help us. I promise you that. And Greg, you know, we've got some spring items here, so tell us what's going on here with some of this on up here.
Yeah, guys, you brought a lot of stuff in. Spring is here, and it's a great time to feed your lawn and garden. So tell us about some of these products you brought.
Sure. So you're right. Spring's a great time. And here in San Diego, even though we don't think we have seasons, our yards know that we do. And so we have to take care of our grass and our yards as the spring begins. So we brought with us some of the typical things you would use to start out the spring season: lawn fertilizer, crabgrass preventer, fertilizer, and Easy Seed from Scott's if you're going to replant your grass.
So what's the yield on these products? Like a bag of the turf feeder, how far does that go?
Well, it's going to vary, but a typical San Diego size yard, you're going to get by with a couple of bags and be in good shape.
Well, that's good. And then what else do you have here?
Bruce,
yeah, we've got a 50-foot garden hose that everyone needs. Usually replace your garden hose once or twice a year. We have some amazing paint. We have the Valspar paint, which Ace is now carrying, and we have the Clark & Kensington paint, which is produced by Ace.
And all these are hot buys, right? These are all on special.
All on special for the month of April.
right? Yes.
Now, guys, how do your locations vary? Because I know that I've been to the Hillcrest store, Bruce, and the downtown store, Harry, and there's 11 locations, but each one seems specific to the neighborhood.
It's true. That's really what Ace is all about, is localizing, being a national brand, but localizing both from a product and a staffing standpoint. And so each store is unique to whatever the neighborhood needs are. You know, in downtown, we don't have a lot of other retailers that might provide housewares or things of that sort, so we specialize in that area. Bruce has a very unique store, and maybe you want to mention the coolest hardware store on the planet.
Yeah, we just were awarded the coolest hardware store on the planet.
Were you really?
Out of, I don't know, 7,000 stores
8
nationwide.
bazillion?
8 bazillion stores.
And you call it Mayberry RFD?
That's our alias name, yes.
But you know, that's part of it, Greg. You know, we've talked about this before on the Saturday morning show on Kogo. We've talked about how when you go into any of the 11 Ace Hardware stores, that it really is like going into Mayberry. You know, you're not going in, you're not a number. You walk in there, and there's a chance you're going to see Harry or Bruce and the staff that you've seen 100 times before. That's what's so great.
That's right. That's exactly right. At all the stores, and you know, back to the localization, each store is going to have product that fits their neighborhood. The Encinitas Ace store, for example, folks in Encinitas are very concerned about green products and sustainable products, so they have a much greater concentration of those types of products at the Encinitas store. The Carmel Valley store does a great job with housewares and giftware. So every store you go into is going to be a little bit different and localized.
And your pricing is as good or better than the big box stores, but your service is just phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, that's our brand promise, is customer service, and you know, so that we have to live up to that. And you're right, from a pricing standpoint, it's really, people think that we're more expensive, but we're not really that much more expensive.
You know, again, when you go into a place like this that's local, you can get to know the folks who are actually the owners, the managers. They're very involved with the customers. You're a guest in their store. That's why we love having Ace Hardware. Again, 11 locations. Heather, I got to tell you, have you experienced that yourself when you go into Ace Hardware of any location? And where do you live? Well, what area do you live in? I don't want you to give your address, of course.
Clint, you're not getting my address.
Come on.
No, you know, I'm really close to the Ace Hardware store over in Forest Ranch, and I've gone in there, and they make you feel like family when you walk in, and they immediately come over to you and ask what you need help with and show you the right products. They don't push anything on you. I really like the customer service there.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that, you know, there's things in these Ace Hardwares that you don't even realize they have. I mean, you can go in there and get all of the things you think they have, the paint, the nuts, the bolts, the nails, the hammers, all of that. But they've got coffee makers, things you wouldn't imagine that they actually have. In fact, they have pickles, Heather. I've pulled pickles, some of the best pickles out of their store. How do you like that one?
Did you say pickles?
I said pickles, like spicy pickles, I kid you not.
Okay, now you really piqued my interest. I'm heading over to Ace after the show. Hey, Clint, thank you so much. By the way, if folks want to get a hold of some of the top pros when it comes to home improvement, anything in our county, ApprovedHomePros.com is the website. These people have already been vetted. They make sure that they know what they're doing. They're licensed contractors. ApprovedHomePros.com, and the number's right there on your screen if you have a question. But before you even call that number, just check out the website because it's real simple and you can find anything from help with roofing or a bathroom leak or a plumbing problem or landscaping issue. ApprovedHomePros.com is the website. Clint, thank you so much for coming in. We'll see you next Monday.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
All right.